Alright, welcome back to another video. This is episode 2 of this new series called Industrial Electronics. So in the last video, I showed you the hardware that I was working with, or that we're working with, and then also showed you which software you needed and how to download it. If you haven't watched that, definitely go check that out. In this video, what I'm going to be talking about is establishing connectivity between your input-output module and your laptop. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with that. So I'm going to put my computer screen on the screen right now so that you can see what I'm doing. So the very first thing that we want to do is set up our IPv4 IP address. So what we're going to do is I'm going to hit the Windows key plus the R key at the same time. That'll pop up this run menu down here, and you're going to want to type in ncpa.cpl and then click enter. Now we're going to go to, so you can see it goes to control panel, network and internet, and network connections. You can just go through the settings to get here. So it says Ethernet. These are all our communications that we have available: Bluetooth, Ethernet, and Wi-Fi. So I'm connected to the Wi-Fi right now. You can see the bars. But we're going to focus on the Ethernet portion. So double click. Then you're going to go to properties. And then in this menu right here, you can find the IPv4 right there, Internet Protocol version 4. Double click that, and you can see right here, now we have access to this Ethernet port's IP address. So we're going to set it to this is what we have right now, 192.168.1.50. And the subnet mask is going to be 255.255.255.0. So this is the subnet mask. I will also mention that your I/O module has to be under the same subnet mask to be able to communicate. It also has to, in this case, since we have 255.255.255, that means we also have to have the same 3 numbers for the IP addresses on both of these, the port and the I/O device. So on the I/O device, that IP address that we're going to assign is also going to have 192.168.1, but the N number is going to be different. And also want to say these sections are called octets. So 192 is one octet, 168 is another octet, and then one's an octet or octlet. So that's what these are called. Okay, so those 3 are going to be the same. And the default gateway, that doesn't matter because we're not online. We're just local. So then we can click OK. And we're done here. In order to check that that is correct, we can exit out of this and go into your Windows button and search bar and type in CMD to find the command prompt. And we're just gonna type in IP config, and then this is what's gonna pop up. So it'll show all of your connections. We're gonna look for Ethernet adapter and IPv4 address, and you can see it does say 192.168.1 and 50, which is what we want. And then it also has the subnet right there. So next thing we're gonna do is we are going to go into this Turck Service Tool, and this service tool, you will want to just click search. So it has the, right here you can see it found the I/O device. You'll know it's correct because it says tbin S2 for IOL, which in the last video I explained that is the model number of this IO device or this IO module. Okay, so this tells us that our computer is able to find this IO module right now. So we found it, and you can see right here what I did was I double clicked it, and then it pops up this information right here. It says change device configuration. So you could even name it if you wanted to, and this says right here IP configuration. So like I said before, to set up this IP address for the IO module, it's going to be the same first 3 octets, 192.168.1, but you can see at the end it says 254. So that's what we're going to want to have right there. You can see net mask is the same thing as gateway. This is going to be 255, or I'm sorry, subnet mask, not gateway, because that's the gateway. It's a subnet mask. So 255, 255, 255, and 0. That has to be the same. And then you just click set in device, but I already have mine set to that. So that is how you configure the IP and subnet for your input-output module. So this is really the only use for this. So minimize that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to configure the IODDs, or input-output device description software, that we downloaded from those websites where I showed you in the previous video. Okay, so this IODD DTM configurator, we're going to go ahead and open that. This is going to configure the software for this Turck input-output module, so that it can understand those files. So I already have all of these added right here, but in order to add, just click add, and you will see in your downloads, so I've downloaded these. When you download your IODD files, they usually look something like this. If they don't pop up right here, you will have to unzip those files, so they can't be in a zip, in the zip format. And then you'll open it. You can see multiple things right here. You'll click one, and these 3 right here are all different. So you can see NRB4, NRB8, NRB15. You'll have to look through these and figure out which sensor yours is. So these are all part numbers or model numbers. You'll look on your sensor, your physical sensor, and see which one it is, and then you'll double click it, and then it will add the one that you need. Once you see all 4 of these, then you'll be good, and you can close that. That's all the IODD DTM configurator is for. It's just going to configure that software. Okay. The next thing that we're going to do is open up this PACTware software or application. This right here is, which also another thing to note, I'm going to go ahead and shut off my Wi-Fi, because that is a communication method, and I don't want this to get confused whenever I'm trying to only communicate through the Ethernet. So you might have to do that. So we're going to go ahead and open up this PACTware 6.1, not to be confused with the DC version. That's not the one we're using. It is the regular one. Go ahead and open PACTware so you can see what it looks like when you first open it. This is what you'll see. I've already been working with it, but you'll create a new project, and then you can see right here you have some options. Okay. I also wanted to mention that if you do go to the CMD again, I should have mentioned this before, so we can get this IP address again. So I'm just going to copy this. This is for the input-output module. So we checked that we do have communication through the IPv4 port itself on the laptop, and now we can check if it's communicating with that IO module. In order to do that, you can type ping and then paste in that IP address, and it's going to try to communicate. So this is sending these packets, right? It's going to send packets across the line, and if we are communicating, you'll see there are 4 sent, or a certain amount sent, and how many are received. If it says 0 received, then you are not communicating with your input-output module. So just wanted to throw that out there as well. Make sure that is communicating. You're communicating with that. All right, so let's get back to the PACTware. All right, once you're here and you know you have communication, you're going to click this Ethernet right here, Service Ethernet, and click Add Device. Okay, so right here, these are all the products that Turck has that you can connect to, and it's a lot. So we can just go into the search bar, and we already know that our model number for the input-output module is TBEN. So we'll just start typing that in, -S2. And you can already see the list getting smaller, and we'll just go ahead and do -4IO. Sorry. So -4IOL. And then boom. That's the only one there. So add that. Alright. Right here, it'll also let you change the IP address. You want to make sure this is the same, 192.168.1.254. And you can name the tag if you want, but we'll just leave it. So then boom, you have that. Now what you can do is click on that, and then you can see this S24IOL, and what you can do, go ahead and take that out of the search bar. So I had that previous search up. You can just exit out. Now I can see all of my IODDs, or input output device description. That is the same thing. Another side note, that's the same thing as a DTM. It's just a different name. DTM stands for Device Type Manager. So same thing. Now you'll see all of these like we seen in the configurator, and you'll want to add the ones that you have. So let me look right here. On my Festo diffuse light sensor, I have SOOE-BS. Okay, those are the same, so I'm going to keep going. The difference right here is the LR. So on mine, it says R. So I already know that this is going to be the one that I need. So we'll add that one, and you will see once it loads. So now it's asking us to assign that sensor to the port that it's connected to. So that's this sensor, the middle sensor. This one goes over and physically connects to this port 2. So there's 4 big ports here with the M5 connection. You'll want to follow that and see which port it's on physically and assign it to that. So it's on port 2. So we'll switch to 2 and click OK. So boom, we assigned it to that port. Now then, the next one I'll connect is this Pepperl sensor, and this is an ultrasonic sensor. This says UC250, yeah, F77, so it's this one right here. Add that one. That one is on port 1. And then, last but not least, the inductive sensor, which is so the NRB8, this one, and that is on port 3. Okay, so we've assigned those. Now at this point, definitely make sure, which you should have already made sure, but just in case you forgot, make sure you have power. So these power leads and the switches on, make sure you have power going to your input output module. You probably would have noticed that a while ago, that you weren't getting communication. So at this point, if you have power and connectivity, you're going to go down this line, and we'll start at the top. So you click those three dots and you'll click connect, and we're gonna go down the line and just do connect, connect. Once you get to these, so these all have hollow circles, so hollow, hollow. Once you start connecting your sensors, these should turn solid green, and that means you're communicating. So we'll go here and do connect. So see, I've already got those, yes, all right there. Connect and connect. So all these solid green lights means we're communicating. That's good. Then what you can do is we can start reading the data from these sensors. Okay, so this is already a long video. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video so that I can explain more in episode 3. So thank you for watching, and make sure to tune in for the next video.